Good morning, sir.
Good morning to all of you. So, we are now revising what is called electrochemistry.
So it's revised.
And yesterday, what we have seen, we have done some questions, right? Sir, now I want to tell you one trade secret. Okay. Please take a white paper and a pen, if possible. And I want you to think it over. First, answer to short answer type questions. Can absolute electrode potential of an electrode be measured? What is your idea on that, sir?
No, sir.
The
It can be
absolute
measured.
electrode potential of an electrode cannot be measured only when it is connected to another electrode, anything. With respect to that, whether this electrode has potential to lose electrons or gain electron can be measured. To do so, we are using She standard hydrogen electrode. The standard hydrogen electrode potential value we don't know, but we have taken it as 0. Notice that it is a scale we have taken absolute value of the hydrogen electrode potential, nobody knows. What is the absolute amount of internal energy you have, nobody knows. When you are jumping from one altitude to a different altitude, then the difference in internal energy, delta E, can be measured. Always, when a reaction is happening, the change in internal energy, the change in enthalpy can be measured. But absolute value of enthalpy, absolute value of internal energy, absolute value of single electrode potential cannot be measured. That is to be borne in mind very clearly. Now look at the question number 29. What is your idea about question number 29, sir? Can E cell or delta G of a reaction or a cell reaction ever be equal to 0?
Yes.
Notice that E cell can be 0, but standard cell potential cannot be 0. If you take a copper electrode and a zinc electrode, standard electrode potential of copper is plus 0.34 volts. Standard electrode potential of zinc is equal to minus 0.76. So the standard cell potential is 1.1 volts. The cell potential may become 0, the cell may be dead. Please understand, there is a lot of difference between these two. Unless you have clarity, you will be confused, sir. Please observe, sir. Sir, this is your zinc electrode immersed in zinc ions, 1 molar aqueous solution, salt rich. Copper plus 2 is in contact with copper, 1 molar standard solution, temperature is 298 K. Now, E0 cell is equal to E right, that is plus 0.34 volts, minus E left minus 0.76 volts. E cell is equal to 0.34 minus of minus 0.76, that is equal to 1.10 volts. It is standard cell. E cell is equal to standard cell potential minus of 0.059 by N into log K. Sir, when the cell is dead, E cell is 0, not E0 cell. E0 cell is always equal to, when the cell is dead, 0.059 by n into log k. Are we very clear, sir? Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Sir, the k value can be 1. Log 1 is equal to 0. But k value as such, the equilibrium constant value as such can never be 0. I will write it in red letters with capitals. EC standard cell or delta G0 standard can never be 0. Are we very clear about it, sir? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Mind you, sir, the delta G for a reaction can be 0, but delta G is equal to standard Gibbs energy change plus 2.303 RT log K. Do you know that, sir?
Yes, sir.
Sir, this cannot be 0, sir, and E cell cannot be 0. Now you got clarity on that idea? Hello?
Yes, sir.
We are looking at answers to short answer questions. These will give you clarity about the fundamental concept. Then only you can solve problems. If your concepts are not clear, you can't. Question number 30, under what conditions E cell is equal to 0 or delta G of a reaction is equal to 0? Under what conditions, sir?
Equilibrium condition.
When the cell reaction reaches equilibrium, then the cell is said to be dead. Then E cell is equal to 0, delta G of the reaction is equal to 0. What does the negative sign in the expression of E Zn plus 2 by Zn is equal to minus 76 indicates? Notice that the negative sign indicates that this particular zinc fellow, I will write Zn plus 2, with respect to water or H plus, does not have tendency to gain electrons. This is not spontaneous. If you are putting in acidic solution, a reverse reaction is spontaneous. So the delta G0 value negative indicates that the zinc is more reactive than hydrogen. Zinc has a tendency to lose electrons to H plus. That is the thing you are getting. Are you very clear, sir? If
Yes.
anybody is having negative electrode potential, that fellow can lose electrons to She. She means standard hydrogen electrode. It means that that particular metal, when added with the H plus ions in a She, can become a cation and generate H2 gas. If the electrode potential is positive, then this is impossible. Suppose if you have copper electrode whose electrode potential is plus 0.34, indicates that copper plus 2 ions can gain electrons from H2 to become copper metal and produce H plus ions. That is reverse. Okay. Now let us look at question number 32. Aqueous copper sulfate solution and aqueous silver nitrate solution are electrolyzed by 1 ampere current for 10 minutes in separate electrolytic cells. Will the mass of copper and silver deposited on the cathode be same or different? Explain your answer. Sir, will they be same, sir?
No, sir, they will be different.
Notice that the number of equivalent weights is same. But the passage of given number of Faradays of charge, always through different electrolytes, can give equal number of equivalent weights. The silver equivalent weight is 108 grams. The copper equivalent weight is 32 grams. It means for every 108 grams of silver deposition, you require 1 Faraday charge. For every 32 grams of copper deposition, you require 1 Faraday charge. But if you look at the equivalent weights, they are clearly different. Therefore, the masses are different. Are we clear about it, sir?
Yes, sir.
If you want to know the amount of material deposited, that can be calculated as 10 into 60 is 600 seconds. So 600 seconds into 1 ampere is 600 coulombs. 96,500 coulombs is equal to 96,500 coulombs is equal to 108 grams of silver, which is equal to 32 grams of copper. Now you are passing only how much, sir? 600 coulombs, right? Hello. 600 coulombs is equal to how much, sir? Roughly, silver is about 0.7 grams and copper is about 0.25 grams. Can you see it, sir? Hello? Hello? Hello, are you able to see the answer or not?
Yes, sir. Able to see.
Depict the galvanic cell in which the cell reaction is copper plus 2 Ag plus gives silver plus copper plus 2. Can you depict that galvanic cell? I am depicting, you see. Here, copper is the loser because copper has lower reduction potential. You should remember values of some fellows. And silver is the gainer. Usually you take 1 molar aqueous solution. Here you require 2 Ag plus because HCl plus 2 formation leads to electron release. Therefore, those 2 electrons are taken by silver to give silver. Are you clean, sir? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Hello? But generally, when you are representing a cell and indicating electrode potentials, actually there is no need to put 2 Ag plus. It is understood that at the end of the reaction, everything is balanced. So in the cell notation, no need to write, but in the cell reaction, there is a need to write. Are we clear about it, sir? Hello? In cell notation, no need to show 2 Ag plus, but while writing the equation, definitely you have to show 2 Ag plus. Right? Let us look at question number 33. Depict the galvanic cell in which the cell reaction are done that. 34. Value of standard electrode potential for the oxidation of chloride ion is more positive than that of water. Even then the electrolysis of aqueous sodium chloride, YCl minus is oxidized at the anode instead of water. This is to be understood very clearly, sir. The fellow whomsoever has higher reduction potential is reduced first at cathode. Fellow with higher reduction potential is reduced at cathode. Fellow with lower reduction potential is oxidized at anode. This is to bear in mind very clearly. Am I creating any confusion, sir?
No, sir.
When the question of gaining electrons comes, that is at cathode, the fellow who has more potential to gain electrons will gain first. But while losing the electron, that question comes, that is oxidation. Fellow with the lower reduction potential loses first. Because reduction potential means ability to gain electron. If somebody has higher ability to gain electron, it will gain, it dislikes to lose. So notice that the reduction potential of chlorine is higher than that of water. Therefore, chlorine should not lose electrons. It is the water that should lose electron because water has lower reduction potential. But unfortunately, the chloride ions are losing electrons. Salt solution on electrolysis gives chlorine, but not preferably oxygen. Why like that? To generate certain elements like oxygen, often you require higher voltage, that is called oxygen over voltage. Due to this problem of oxygen over voltage, the water is not getting oxidized. Instead, the chloride ion is getting oxidized. Point number one, when I am passing electric current, at cathode reduction happens. That fellow is reduced first who has higher reduction potential. If there is a competition between silver and copper, silver electrode potential is 0.80, copper is 0.34. So silver gains electrons first. Now, at anode, opposite to this happens, that is loss of electrons. Fellow with lower reduction potential should lose electrons first. Water has lower reduction potential. So water should lose electrons first to give oxygen. However, experiments have shown that chloride ions are preferably losing electrons to become chlorine gas. Why like that? To generate elements like oxygen, we often require higher voltage called oxygen over voltage. That is the reason why oxygen is not evolved. Are we clean on this, sir? Let's
Yes.
look at question number 35. Can you answer question number 35? The relative ability of an electrode either to lose electrons to become positive ions or its positive ions to gain electrons.
Hello, sir. You are not audible. Hello, sir.
Hello.
Sir, you are not audible.
Sir, how many minutes back we got disconnected?
5 minutes.
5
sir.
minutes.
Oh my God. So much we missed. No, I got a doubt and I was checking. My God. Today morning onwards, this is troubling me like hell. Sir, what question I was discussing with you? Like
What
a
is an
madman?
electrode potential?
Huh?
What is electrode potential?
My God. I discussed so many questions. Anyway, sir, this question number 34, can we answer?
Yes.
Notice that, sir, very important thing I was telling that fellow with higher reduction potential is reduced first at cathode. If you have silver ions and copper ions, silver ion electrode potential is plus 0.80 volts. Copper ion electrode potential is plus 0.34 volts. Which is more? Hello?
Hello, sir.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Sir, copper and silver, if I take, copper electrode potential is plus 0.34, silver electrode potential is plus 0.80, which is more.
Plus 0.80.
Silver is more. Therefore, if there is a competition between silver and copper, silver will gain the electrons first. Fellow with higher reduction potential is reduced first. Now, that is happening at cathode. At anode, somebody should lose electrons. Who will lose electrons first?
Less electrode potential.
You can say that fellow with the least reduction potential is oxidized first. When I am looking at chloride ions and water, water has a less reduction potential. So we expect water to lose electrons to become oxygen. However, when salt water is subjected to electrolysis, it is chloride that loses electrons to become green color chlorine gas. That is the question. Why green color chlorine gas is coming out instead of oxygen, though the electrode potential of water is less? That is the question. Answer. No doubt the reduction potential of water is less. No doubt the water should lose electrons to give oxygen. But evolution of oxygen-like elements requires higher voltage. It is called oxygen over voltage problem. Due to oxygen over voltage problem, the water is not undergoing oxidation, preferably, but the chloride ion loses electrons to give chlorine. So the reason is oxygen over voltage. What is that, sir? What is that, sir? Oxygen over voltage. Have you understood the term?
Yes, sir.
Due to this problem, oxygen is not a vacuum. Chlorine is a vacuum. Look at question number 36. Can you answer it, sir? The zinc electrode is connected to A electrode and the copper electrode is connected to B electrode. Now, what is the charge on A electrode? That is, polarity means charge. What is the charge on A electrode, sir? Positive or negative? Hello? Hello? Again, we got disconnected. Are we there?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Sir,
sir.
what is the polarity of A electrode? Come on, you have to tell. Now we have to go. We have to do 10 questions. That's my target. Please remember, whenever zinc is losing electrons, electrons will go on to surface. So the surface of zinc electrode and the electrode that is connected to A will get negative sign. And relative to the A electrode, B gets positive sign. So A has negative charge, B has
Positive.
Now let us imagine a situation. You are connecting silver electrode to B and you are connecting iron electrode to A. Then what is the charge, sir? Iron electrode to auntie, silver to boy. What is the charge on auntie, sir? Ladies and gentlemen, the silver, the copper, the gold, they have positive electrode potentials. Copper, silver, gold. In 3D series, all elements, scandium, titanium, vanadium, chromium, manganese, iron, cobalt, nickel, zinc, all the 3D series elements, except copper have negative electrode potentials. Like zinc, scandium, titanium, vanadium, chromium, manganese, iron, cobalt, nickel, zinc, all they have negative potential. So when any of these is connected to A, the electrode gets negative sign. The silver, the copper, the gold, they all have positive potentials. When they are connected to B, B gets positive sign. Are we clean on that, sir?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Do I remember in 3D series, all have negative electrode potential except?
Copper.
Copper.
Very good. Can we answer question number 37, sir? Why alternating current is used for measuring resistance of an electrolytic solution? If we use a direct current for measuring resistance of an electrolyte solution, it undergo electrolysis because DC always brings electrolysis. When electrolysis happens, concentration of electrolyte changes. When the concentration of electrolyte decreases, the voltage fluctuates. To prevent all this nuisance, we avoid direct current. Instead, we use alternate current. Are you clear on this, sir? Hello.
They're clear.
We are going to question number 39. How will the pH of brine be affected when it is electrolyzed? Sir, what happens, sir? When brine solution is electrolyzed, the brine solution has Na plus ions, chloride minus ions. Due to oxygen over voltage problem, water is not undergoing oxidation. Instead, chloride ion undergo oxidation to give chlorine gas. Yet anode. Is that fine, sir?
Yes, sir.
In water, if you look at what are the available species, Na plus water to gain electrons. And for losing electrons, you have chloride ions and water. First, there is a competition between losers. Who will lose? Will the chloride ion lose? Will the water will lose to give electrons? Who will lose, sir? Chloride ions or water? If chloride ion loses electrons, you will get a chlorine gas. If water loses electrons, you get oxygen gas. Sir, what do you get, sir, in the electrolysis of salt water? Are you getting chlorine or are you getting oxygen?
Chlorine.
Chlorine.
This is due to oxygen over voltage problem. The chlorine is evaluated at anode. Now at cathode, there is a competition between Na plus and water to gain electrons. The reduction potential of water is much greater than that of Na plus. Who will gain electrons, sir?
Water.
NH.
If water is gaining electrons, it will become hydrogen gas. If Na plus is gaining electrons, it will become sodium. So the water that gains electrons to give hydrogen gas, the reduction happens at cathode. Oxidation happens at
Anode.
the reduction of water at anode gives hydrogen gas. The reduction of water gives hydrogen gas at anode. The oxidation of chloride ions gives chlorine gas. Yes, sir. I want you to focus on question number 45, sir. Can you answer? That is very important. Just 1 minute. Let them answer this question. Hello. Try to,
One doubt, sir.
try to answer question number 41. Ladies and gentlemen, take your paper and pen and try to work it. Okay. So I am giving you 1 minute time for that. Okay. Sir, the same questions, I will jumble them, I will change the numbers, I change the options, and you will get in the exam. So I am advising you to prepare this completely, 100%. Hello. Okay. Okay. Ask. We wanted to have privacy. Okay. Oh my. Bye. I'll get back to you. Now I'm in a class. Okay, bye. Sir, could you get the answer to question number 41?
Sir, one doubt, sir.
Please.
Sir, in electrolysis, that cathode reduction potential should be less or more, sir?
Sir,
For electrolysis.
for reduction, fellow with high reduction potential is reduced first. The potential to get reduced is high. It means it is readily gaining electrons. Silver plus gains electrons over preference to copper plus 2. Copper plus 2 gains electrons over preference to water. Fellow with high potential to get reduced. High reduction potential reduced first. Opposite is to attain. Low reduction potential fellow is oxidized first. You understand? Hello?
Yes, sir.
So let there be no confusion on this front. So what is the answer to this, sir?
Sir, B is a strong electrolyte.
Solutions of 2 chloride electrolytes A and B are diluted. The molar conductance of B increases 1.5 times, while that of A increases 25 times. Which of the two is a strong electrolyte? Justify your answer. Notice, sir, for strong electrolyte like H2SO4, like an ACl, like NaOH, already there are ions. The ions are simply getting drifted away by adding water. The number of ions is not changing. Only the ionization is increasing, but not dissociation. If you take a weak electrolyte like acetic acid, as you are adding water, originally the acetic acid, which is covalent, now transforms to ionic, and then you get acetate ion and H plus ion are getting separated. So there is a breakage of bonds and formation of new ions afresh. Therefore, for a weak electrolyte, on dilution, the conductance drastically increases. It follows a path like a curve. Whereas for strong electrolyte, just if you are adding water, only existing ions get separated. So marginally the conductance increases. So if the conductance of B is increasing by 1.5 times, obviously it is a strong electrolyte. If the conductance of A is increasing 25 times, it means that fresh ions are formed, fresh mobility is gained, therefore that must be a weak electrolyte. Are we very clear, sir? Hello?
Yes.
Therefore, what's the answer, sir?
B.
Clearly, electrolyte B is strong electrolyte. Electrolyte A is weak electrolyte. Are we understanding this point, sir?
Yes.
The all difference came because weak electrolyte CH3COOH, it is covalent. In benzene, it exists like a dimer due to hydrogen bonding. It won't give any ions in benzene. Acetic acid is not at all an acid in benzene. Acetic acid is somewhat acidic in water. If you pour more water, more acetic acid molecules break down to give H+. Therefore, on 2 counts, the conductance of acetic acid increases on adding more water. First count is increase in the number of ions. Second count is increase in mobility of ions. There is dissociation as well as ionization. Question number 42. When a acidulated water diluted H2SO4 solution is electrolyzed, will the pH of solution be affected? Justify your answer. Sir, when a diluted acidulated water you are electrolyzing, the sulfate ions remain unaffected because their reduction potential is higher. The water will undergo oxidation to give OH- ions. Are we very clear about it, sir? Hello?
Yes.
Therefore, when water is giving off the water H+ ions are gaining electrons to become hydrogen gas at cathode, and at anode the water is losing electrons and becoming oxygen. So what is happening here is a result, sir? What you could see in this process,
pH
when
changes.
H2SO4 is electrolyzed, at one end water is breaking to give hydrogen gas, at another end water is breaking to give oxygen gas. Therefore, what happens, sir? It is the water that is breaking down completely. There is no increase in H+ ions, there is no decrease in H+ ions. Therefore, the pH of the solution will not be affected. Do you understand this, sir? I will write it to make my point very clear. Sir, it is a very diluted H2SO4. There is a lot of water. Water is in large excess. Can you see?
Yes,
Now
sir.
the water is gaining electrons at the cathode to give hydrogen gas and 2OH-. Is that fine?
Yes, sir.
And at the anode, the water is losing electrons. Can you see it, sir? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Therefore, what is happening, sir? Is there any change in H+ ions? Sir, for the evaluation of 4 electrons, you are getting 4H+. Here, for gaining of 2 electrons, you are getting 2OH-. If you multiply it with the 2, for evaluation of 4 OH-, you are getting 4 electrons captured. For evaluation of 4H+, 4 electrons are released. The number of H+ produced and the number of OH- produced is equal. Therefore, solution pH remain unaffected. Can you see that clearly?
Yes.
Hello. H2. Actually, if you have confusion, you can take 2 H+ are gaining 2 electrons to give H2. H2O. and one O minus 2 is losing 2 electrons to give oxygen. What is overall, sir? Can you see it, sir? Sir, 2H plus O minus 2 together can be written as H2O. Can I do that? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Therefore, there is no addition of H plus ions. There is no removal of H plus ions. As a result, pH will not change. Sir, if the solution is concentrated, then the sulfate ions may lose electrons to give S2O8 2 minus and 2 electrons. If the sulfuric acid is very concentrated, you will be getting these ions. You know what is this, sir? You know what it is?
Oleum.
Hello. H2S2O8 is known as peroxydisulfuric acid or Marshall acid. When highly concentrated, more than 50% concentrated sulfuric acid is subjected to electrolysis, then the sulfate ion, their concentration is so heavy, therefore they start losing electrons to give per-disulfate ion, which actually exists as peroxydisulfuric acid. Peroxydisulfuric acid is called Marshall acid. If this is not really concentrated more than 50%, then this will not undergo oxidation. Just water undergoes oxidation to give oxygen gas. Water undergoes reduction to give hydrogen gas at cathode. No change in pH. However, if the concentration of sulfate ions is more, then at anode, you will be getting peroxydisulfuric acid. What is that, sir? Peroxydisulfuric. You know what is its structure? In 11th class, you have studied this. This is peroxydisulfuric acid. It has a peroxy bond. Can you see it clearly, sir? Hello? One interesting point I want to say. I have sulfuric acid and peroxydisulfuric acid, auntie and boy. Which is more acidic, sir? Hello? Is auntie or boy, which is more powerful acid? Hello? Hello? Notice, always a particular acid is more acidic than corresponding peroxy acid. Why we will be seeing later on when we go to organic. No, at the moment that's all. I don't know. Nobody is responding. Everybody is silent. I don't know. You're worried. I want all of you to kindly look at question number 44. What is the answer to 44? Hello?
Standard hydrogen electrode.
She, which is taken as 0. You can also use calomel electrode. Question number 45. Can you answer it quickly?
CO gives CO2 plus and 2 electrons at
You have
anode.
to tell at anode who is getting oxidized, at cathode who is getting reduced.
Copper is getting oxidized as anode and Cl
So
minus
red
is
color
getting
copper gives blue color copper ions at anode. The blue color intensity increases at anode. At cathode, the colorless chloride ion becomes green color chlorine gas. So cathode gets green color chlorine gas, which is toxic and cause bleeding from mucous membranes like nose. At the anode, the solution turns blue in color because copper ions have blue color. Do you know copper ion has an unpaired electron? That is the reason why it gets blue color. Can you write the Nernst equation for question number 46? E is equal to E0 cell minus of 0.059 by 2 into log of Zn plus 2 by Cu plus 2. E cell decreases when concentration of zinc ions increases. As time passes, cell potential drops. After a lot of time, the cell potential may become 0. Then E0 cell is equal to 0.059 by 2 into log K. 47. What advantage do the fuel cells have over primary and secondary cells, sir? Can you say any 3 points?
They will not run out of they will not exhaust.
The primary cell contains small quantity of chemicals packed in a dabba. After some time, the primary cell becomes useless. You have to throw it, causes environmental pollution. Whereas the secondary cell or secondary battery appears very huge in size, and it is very less efficient and it requires constant maintenance. Whereas the fuel cell directly convert the chemical energy of fuel into electrical energy, so it is noiseless, it is more efficient, and it is non-polluting. The released H2O in most of the cases can be added to drinking water supply of the people who are using it. So definitely fuel cells are more efficient. The fuel can be like hydrogen, like methane, like ethane, like anything, which can actually lose electrons. The oxidizer can be oxygen or it can be fluorine, which can gain electrons. So in a fuel cell, you require an electron loser like hydrogen, like methane, like ethane, or like anybody who can lose electrons. Even it can be alcohol. When alcohol loses electron, you get CO2. In a fuel cell, you require somebody who can gain electrons like oxygen, like fluorine. Okay. Question number 48, can you answer, sir? In the lead storage cell, the lead is the electron gainer, lead peroxide is the electron loser mediated by sulfuric acid, 38%.
Yes, sir.
So Pb plus PbO2 plus H2SO4, 38%, 2 moles will give you 2 PbSO4 plus
2H2.
H2O. And in the course of the reaction, H2SO4 is changing into water and lead sulfate. So the density of sulfuric acid decreases. When the density of sulfuric acid considerably drops, the secondary cell requires recharging. In the recharging, direction of reactions be reversed. Why on dilution, the molar conductance at infinite dilution of acetic acid increases drastically, while that of sodium acetate increases gradually. Sodium acetate is a strong electrolyte. It already exists as acetate ions and sodium ions. So on dilution, only the mobility of ions increase. Whereas acetic acid is a covalent molecule, on adding water, 2 things would happen. First, the acetic acid will dissociate into acetate ion and H plus ions. Second, the ionized species get more mobility on adding dilution. That is the why the weak electrolyte acetic acids conductance drastically increases on dilution. A strong electrolyte like sodium acetate conductance smoothly increases like a straight line on dilution. Are you keen on this, sir?
Yes,
Hello.
sir.
Sir, understood.
Now, can we answer question number 50 in 1 minute time?
First one is option C.
C.
Second one D.
First one option C.
D.
Third one is A. Fourth
is-
one is B.
Congratulations. That is it. 51. An intensive property is a property which is independent of quantity.
The electro.
It means that temperature is an intensive quantity. You know, you can have one glass full of water and a bucket full of water at same temperature. The temperature of water is not dependent on the quantity. Also, in intensive properties, I have an interesting thing. If you have a glass of water at 50 degrees, another glass of water at 40 degrees, if you mix these two glasses of water, resulting solution temperature is not 90 degrees. Yes or no, sir? Hello.
Yes.
Yes.
So let me draw this picture once again. It is a glass of water at, say, 60 degrees. It is a glass of water at 40 degrees. If I mix up these two, will I get 100 degrees, sir? Hello?
No, sir.
Hello, can I get 100 degrees centigrade water?
Sir.
I will never get. It is 60 degrees, no doubt. It is 40 degrees, no doubt. But if I mix, I will never get 100 degrees. Any doubt? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Because intensive properties are not additive. But if I add 60 ml water with 40 ml water, the resulting water volume will be 100 ml. Yes or no? So the volume is an extensive property. Temperature is an intensive property. Intensive properties cannot be added up. Like cell potential is an intensive property. Hello?
Yes, sir.
Energy is an extensive property. Energies can be added up. Delta G can be added up. Enthalpies can be added up. Internal energies can be added up. But temperatures cannot be added up. Electrode potentials cannot be added up or subtracted. You understand? There are two types of properties. Intensive properties, extensive properties. Intensive properties are independent of quantity. Density is an intensive property. Temperature is an intensive property. Electrode potential is an intensive property. Therefore, can you answer this question? Question number 51. Question number 51.
First one is D, sir. Second
Very good.
Third one is
First
D.
one is the donkey, sir.
Sir.
Molar conductance always increases with the dilution, whether it is a strong electrolyte or weak electrolyte. The increase is more in weak electrolyte, increase is moderate in strong electrolyte. Now, what is the second one, sir?
Intensive property.
The
Intensive
cell
property.
potential, standard cell potential is always fixed, sir. Even if you double the concentration, even if you half the concentration, even if you double the temperature, standard cell potential remains same. Sir, there are 12 apples in dozen apples. Whether you are buying 100 apples, 24 dozens, whether you are buying 2 apples or 3 apples. See, A bought 2 apples, B bought 6 dozen apples, C bought 800 apples. So, how many apples are there in dozen?
One only, sir.
Whether whatever the number of apples you are buying, dozen means by definition 12. So standard cell potential by definition has a fixed value, it will not change. It is an intensive property. Next, what is that? Here it is not clear.
Conductivity, I think, sir.
What is this they gave here? Third one.
Conductivity, sir.
Conductance is what? It depends on number of ions and volume of solution. Specific conductance is decreasing on adding water because number of ions in 1 centimeter cube drops. Overall conductance is increasing because as I'm increasing volume, ions are getting mobility. So the conductance depends on the number of ions as well as volume. What about last one, sir?
Extensive properties. Sir.
Delta G is an extensive property. That's why we added the NFE zeros, delta Gs. 52. First one is lead storage battery. Lead storage battery matches to what, sir?
PB is
In
an-
lead storage battery, lead is anode, PbO2 is cathode. In between, 38% sulfuric acid is there, of course. Mercury cell, what is mercury cell, sir? A mercury cell is operating by zinc amalgam and what, sir?
Mercuric oxide.
And zinc is the loser of electron. Mercuric oxide will become mercury and oxygen. Yes, sir. And water, of
Yes.
course, it will become. It gives a steady voltage of 1.3 volts. The voltage would not fluctuate because there are no ions. That's what we studied. So it gives a steady potential. What
Yes.
is fuel cell?
Option A, sir.
What is fuel cell, sir? It
Maximum
has
efficiency.
maximum efficiency, theoretically 100%. What is rusting?
Prevented by galvanization.
It is a process where the atmospheric gases oxidize the metals that can be prevented by cutting the contact between surface of metal and environmental gases. The cutting of the contact is possible by galvanization, where you coat with zinc, or by tinning, or by applying paint. Usually, very smooth surfaces will not undergo rusting easily. Rough surfaces undergo rusting easily. So if you polish the surface of an iron very nicely, it is not getting rusted so easy. 53 matching is a bit typical. All this you try. I am telling you, I am giving you a clue. In this, there can be assertion reason. There can be anything in this booklet. And the numbers I will change, options I will change, I do whatever. But this is the source book. Can you take this and do this before Monday, sir? Hello.
We will do.
I want you to do each question 2-3 times. There are a limited number of questions. You should struggle, total 67 questions. If you read the NCERT book thoroughly, do all this book thoroughly, then you are qualified to go to advanced level. Unless you read the textbook, almost you should by heart. Okay. And then only we can think of doing any advanced work. Sir, tomorrow I want to keep a class. Should I keep class tomorrow or put on Monday?
Your wish, sir.
I will let you know, but I want you to do this thoroughly and post me your doubts. I will not agree even if you get 1 mark less, but I gave you the NCERT book, I gave you the exemplar. You please ask me every doubt of you if you have. I am there. Now today I am closing the class, eagerly waiting for your feedback tomorrow.
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. God bless you.